Okay, let's pretend it's Friday so we can have sidebar. Due to technical difficulties, I couldn't upload this video on actual Friday for Field Trip Fridays, so we're just gonna pretend, right? Field Trips Friday. Did you get your field trip permission slip signed? I'm going to let you guess as to where our field trip will be for this Friday, Saturday. District of Columbia, D, Maryland, M, or Virginia, V. Hey everyone, Mama Bear Jenny Dolls here, taking you on another field trip. See if you can guess where we're going. Let's get this car started. Let's find some good music. No commercials. We're not no commercials. I can do that. Seatbelts to be safe. And we're off. Well, and we're off. Can you guess where we are by the scenery?
Welcome to DC. You know where you're at, the USA got you taking it slightly. Stop taking it slightly. Now you don't act, homie, we'll be right back. Well, we gon' be right here. We gon' be right here. We ain't going nowhere. Welcome to DC. DC, the home of Chuck Brown. Oh, you don't know the sound? Well, let me break it down. The G-O, the M-A, and B-O. See though, we've been pumping crank since an embryo. Really though, it's the city where the people hold the power. And you can see 9 dimes every half an hour. With Luncheon and Joe is the lingo. And brothers rob, so ain't nobody rocking mink coats. Take you back to the madness had for how the city renamed Cigarette Shack for how.
I need to pause here so I can explain to you what's actually going on in Washington, D.C. right now. It is the National Cherry Blossom Festival, which runs from March 20th through April 12th, 2026. The National Cherry Blossom Festival is an annual spring celebration in Washington, D.C., commemorating Japan's 1912 gift of cherry trees and showcasing cultural events, parades, and the iconic blooming of the tidal basin. It is this time of year that everything in Washington, D.C. turns Barbie pink.
The destination is on your left, Urban Roast. Arrived.
And just like that, we're here. And here's the menu just to give you a clue of where we're at. Yep, if you guessed Urban Roast, you are correct. What's Urban Roast, you ask? Well, let me tell you, it's a delightful place where they serve the vibrant downtown Washington, D.C. community, offering an authentic and premier cafe experience with gourmet coffee, specialty cocktails, and contemporary shared place. They're not just delicious, they're enhanced by ever changing seasonal menus and stylish decor. Today we're visiting the Penn Quarter downtown DC location, which is located at 916 G Street Northwest, Suite C2 in Washington, D.C. The Urban Roast, which is one of two locations in the DC area, is actually hosted and created by the Azuz brothers, Kamal, Anthony, and Joseph. Together, these three brothers carved out a niche combining the art of exceptional cuisine with a welcoming, vibrant atmosphere. Unfortunately, on the day that we went, there was someone famous or infamous there, so I wasn't able to record the way I would have liked to. But I did get pictures. Entrance was this sign: start with coffee and end with wine. Around the corner was this large mirror. We can do a quick fit check. What do you think of my outfit? Around the corner was another sign that says, last night we let the liquor talk. Girl, no. Here's one of two bars located at the Penn Quarter stop. However, the other bar had a special event going on, so we couldn't actually see that one. And here's Mia. And there's Bri, two of my real life mini-me's. Okay, let's take a look at the menu. The day Brianna, Mia, and I went to this location was a Mother's Day 3-course dining experience. So let me show you what we got. We started out with a seasonal spritz flight, which is actually like a bunch of different shots of the same type of drink. I chose a margarita. It was beautiful, and it had a bunch of different options. So you know I had to try each and every one of them. This one was the blueberry. This one was hibiscus, and you know I love hibiscus. And this one was the blackberry, also equally tasty. Now, these flights that you can get there at the restaurant change with the season. So, depending on what season you go, they have different flights for different seasons. Now, because my children were under the age of 21 at the time we went, they had to have non alcoholic mocktails. And now, on to the appetizers. We had carnitas nachos and fried shrimp. I don't even know what our main meal was, but it was delicious. Here's some photos. Because of the decorum there at the restaurant, we had to take some selfies here and there because there was so much pink and purples, and they even had like a pink light over top to give even more effect in the restaurant. At the end of the meal, I even convinced my mini me's to take actual photos with me before we left the restaurant. Now, I know what you're wondering. Is this a doll photography friendly location? The short answer is yes, you can take photography there for your dolls. The real question is, are my children doll photography friendly? The short answer is no, absolutely not. They do not like me taking pictures anywhere we go together. So let's recreate the Urban Roast restaurant in 1/6 scale on my office desk. First, we have to clear out a space on the office desk. Move the monitor, move the phone, move the lamp. Just make space. This is going to take a while, so let's speed things up a bit. Now, as you have seen from my pictures, Urban Roast has a lot of floral arrangements on all the walls, the tables, the ceiling, everywhere. So we're going to have to add some flowers to make this 1/6 scale picture work. These are the Dollar Tree chairs. I just spray painted them gold. These are some bags that I crafted myself with some printables that I made based off of what the actual Urban Roast to go bags look like. I made 3 for us 3 to have. I also made this sign, which is just a computer printout, and folded it in half so it can actually have like 3 dimensionals. and taped it right to the back wall. Perfect. I also made these tiny little 1/6 scale menus from Urban Roast based off the actual menu that was there in the restaurant when we went. I only made two, and you'll see why later on. I also made these to-go cups that they didn't actually have at Urban Roast, but I thought it would be really cute to make these. Let me pause for a second to show you how I made them. So basically what I did is I found a cup template on Google, scaled it down to 1/6 scale using a doll's hand for a measure, and then I printed them out, put hot glue in the bottom, and filled it all the way up, and then added an additional like layer after I painted it with like nail polish to make it like it had a little lip on the top of it. But it turned out perfectly. What do you think? So after everything is completely dry, I cut each individual cup out, making sure that it's rounded out around the bottom so that it looks like it's one singular piece. Here is my little tote that I have with a lot of small things, food related, that I keep together with bakery stuff and dining things. You may remember these little pink ones from the Friday field trip that I did for Tea Around Town. Well, I figured I needed more because I only had two of those from me and my mom, and I needed like three. So I got some craft foam, a lighter shade of pink, and I just cut them out the same size, so I knew that would fit. I made these little napkins and silverware sets on some craft foam. It's basically just a computer printout. And then I glued them to three small spaces of craft foam so each of us could have our own utensils. Now I have a ton of other things in here that are food related and trade related, but we're not ready for that yet. Let's bring out the dolls. Here are the dolls that I used for Bri and Mia as their minis, and here is Mini Jenny. So let's get these dolls out the bag and get them ready for display. Most of the times, Mini Bri stays at Brianna's boutique, so her hair doesn't really get that messed up. However, Mini Mimi or Mini Mia actually gets a little messed up, so we gotta do a little work with her hair. Time to whip out our Bobby brush that we keep on our keychain. You guys don't keep a Bobby brush on your keychain? That Bobby brush was no match for Mini Mia's tangled, tinseled hair. So we're gonna do something. I'll be right back. A little hot water and that Bobby brush did wonders. And also, of course, we had to do her manicure because Mia always has her manicure done. Let me show you a picture. Oh, Mini Jenny could use a little brush too, and maybe a little bit of water. One second. Oh, but before I do that, I wanted to show you. A lot of times I make earrings for my dolls from actual push pins that are used for my sewing that have the colorful tops. So since the girls are wearing pink, I wanted them all to have pink earrings. Well, not mini Mimi, but you get the idea. If you plan on using these push pins later for sewing, always push the doll's head up and inward so that way you won't poke yourself when trying to position the doll's head. Up next, these dolls need purses and shoes. So I actually keep mine in this little Dollar Tree accessory box. It's a good way to keep everything so you can see it and what you need and what you don't need. And I bring multiples because you know how the dolls do sometimes. They just kick their shoes off at any given moment. So you have to have extras on hand. And here they are in all of their glory. Mini Bri on the far left, Mini Jenny in the middle, and Mini Mia on the far right. Let's give these girls some purses now. Now let's take a final look at these dolls' outfits, ensembles, and accessories before we sit them down at the table. Now remember how I said I only made 2 menus? There's a reason for that because my youngest child actually doesn't even use menus. Everything's on her phone. Like she goes to her phone immediately. They need a waiter. Hold on a second. Here we go. Yes, I know. I already have a 2025 holiday kin with the Julio face sculpt. However, I needed two because I wanted one to come out the box and I wanted to play with one. So let's go ahead and get him out the box. Take a look at him. I absolutely adore the Julio face sculpt on this Ken doll. And then I feel like Mattel should make more of these. Oh Lord, I dropped the camera. Look at the dolls waiting so patiently for their waiter so they can get their food. This holiday king came with a certificate of authenticity, which we don't really care about because we're going to take him out the packaging. He also came with a stand, which we will be using today and then in future posts because the Kens are a little bit broader at the hips and waist, so they need a wider standpoint on the top of the stand in order to hold them properly. Okay, let's go ahead and put this stand together real quick. There is one thing I feel like I need to mention about this doll. Do not take the gel out of his hair or do anything with the hair because he is completely bald underneath of that hair. Just push back with the gel. Just leave it. Promise. You will thank me later. And yes, his tuxedo jacket is actually sewn together. I will be removing this sewing piece in there and adding a snap and keeping this actual tuxedo outfit for future doll events. Now, I didn't have a 1/6 scale flight tier that we actually had in real life at Urban Roast, but I feel like the dolls are going to make me create one. I just don't know how to do it yet. We'll get back to that. Oh dear, here goes Mini Mia again doing her social media influencer thing. She's cute, but of course, Mini Jenny does not like phones at the table when we're eating. But of course, Mini Bri thinks it's hilarious as she laughs every time. The server comes back with their orders, and everyone seems very happy. And here's one last overview of my Urban Roast 1/6 scale detail. And to show you that this was done on my actual work desk, let me pan out a bit. And yes, of course, I do have my Barbie jacket for the day. If you have enjoyed this video for today, please remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you here next time on At Mama Bear Jenny Dolls.